All right, it's time. If you have open your portfolio WordPress handout that's in the Google Classroom, that would be helpful to have kind of sitting here. I'm going to share my screen, so I'm going to show you through and I'm going to kind of walk you through it. And so, yeah, pull that out. We're going to go to the usingwordpress.com and we're going to start from scratch. So we're going to go step by step through. I'm going to record this, so hopefully you can revisit it if you need to as we go. But I'm going to share my screen here. And I'm going to do a little bit of a split screen here so you can see the handout, but also I'm going to do it with you. So here we go. So using WordPress, first thing we got to do is we got to set up an account. And I recommend you need to go to wordpress.com, not .org.com, and you're going to click Get Started. You'll notice down the road, if you're coming back to this and you haven't reviewed this in a while, since you've already created a WordPress.com account, you'll hit sign in. But this is where you'll come to update it later. But to get started, to create a new one, you can click Get Started. And so we're going to come right in here and it's going to ask for you to create a WordPress.com account, right? And now I recommend using a personal email account that you can access because you're going to have to validate your email. Oftentimes WordPress kind of updates how they secure and do that. And sometimes we've noticed that when you use your school email account, sometimes it requires you to validate it and such. So you can use your school email account to publish it. But again, if we're trying to use this long-term to follow us, you know, if you use your school email, it's just going to disappear once you lose your school email. So you might want to use a personal email account that you can access later. If you don't have one, that's okay. You can use your school email and you can change it later. Or maybe you could create a Gmail account of your own. And so that's the first thing that you need to do. You need to put in your email address and choose a username. I recommend you keep it simple, something that you can refer back to. Maybe if you can, make it, you know, something your name, but not like Skater Girl 472. So username and password, and then write it down. Okay. So right now, put in your email address. I'm gonna create one with my. I'm going to use my spam email. I have an old Yahoo one. And I'm just going to go with G. Craig. Can I use that one? Will it let me? Oh, it's already been used. So how about just Kraken with 2 N's? No. G. Kraken. Right? See, that's there. That one works. G. Kraken. And then I'm just going to create a password. And then what I recommend that you do right now is pause and write it down. I'm going to go create a little contact on my phone and notes, and I'm going to type WordPress. I'm going to make it a WordPress entry. So when I search WordPress, it'll pop up. If you don't have some place to save your passwords, you should have a secure document somewhere on your phone, a notebook, somewhere where you can go and access it. A Google Doc or something that you can access with all of your things. But I'm going to put down WordPress, and I'm going to put WordPress.com. I'm going to put my email that I used, because I'm not going to remember which email I used. And so I'm going to put gcraig@Yahoo. I'm going to put the username that I used. And I think later you can log in with your email address or with your username. Again, be careful about the username you use, because you don't want to put, like, you know, sticky finger discounted biker, anything weird like that, because that's going to come up later on your site. So use something kind of your name related. I might even make this Glenn Craig and see if that's, oh, see, I've already used that one. That's because I've already got my account. So I'll just go with G. Kraken for now for the sake of this. Oh, this password's too easy to guess. So I'm going to do something a little bit more secure. Still, what? Okay, there we go. So now I've got to write down that password that I used. So put that password down. so that we have that for later, because you are not going to remember that you had to change it or whatever. So Yahoo, all right, putting that in. All right, everybody's got it. You can also tie it to your Google account. That's kind of cool. You can create it using, if you have a Gmail account, a personal Gmail account, you can use it with that or with your Apple. So however you do it, I'm going to put my username in, save it, and then, yeah. All right. Now I'm going to hit create my account. Now, here's the next step. Name your website, something like Your Name Portfolio. And we're gonna select a domain name. Actually, you know what? It doesn't look like we're setting up our name yet. It looks like they just changed this. So we're gonna set up your domain. Type the domain that you want. Now, this is again where we don't want to put like, unicorn farts 27 at this, because that's not going to be very useful. We don't want to just accept the first thing. Like if I just put Glenn Craik in here, that one's been taken, right? Because I've already created that site, glenncraik.wordpress.com. And if you look down here, the first thing you're going to notice is that they're going to try and sell you something. So, hey, glenncraik.com. It's free and it's $18 a year. So you could purchase yourname.com, but we're not going to do that for now. Maybe later you could do that if you want. They're going to try and sell me glenncraik.blog, but that one's more expensive. That's interesting. So, they're going to try and sell it to you. Now, you should be able to get yourname.wordpress.com for free. That's the one you want to select. Now, I'm not going to select this one because this has a bunch of random numbers after it. Right? That's not going to be helpful. Glenn, I'm never going to remember that. I'm not going to hand that to a coach and say, hey, coach, check out my reel, Glenn Craik 921383345.wordpress.com. They're never going to look that up. So I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to try something different. Since Glenn Craik's already been taken, maybe I'm going to do my initial, J Glenn Craik, right? And then I'm going to come back down here. Oh, look, see, jglenncraik.wordpress.com is free. So I might use that. Or, again, if your name is John Smith, somebody's probably already got johnsmith.wordpress. It's probably taken. So you might need to come up with something like John Smith Writing Portfolio. But if we do John Smith Writing Portfolio, we're going to be stuck to only having stuff about writing portfolios. If we later decide that we want to start like some, Star Wars themed candle business, we can't use writingportfolio.wordpress as the site. So, be thinking about that. Maybe, John Q. Smith.wordpress or Glenn Craik Portfolio might work, right? Yeah, see, glenncraikportfolio.wordpress.com is free. Now they're going to try and sell you all of these different domains. That's part of how they make money on here, but we're just going to use the free one. And again, that's perfectly legitimate. And so actually, yeah, I'll try Glenn Craik Portfolio. Let's do that. So I'm going to select that. Now, again, one more time, it's .com. So they're trying to sell you here, right? Pick a plan for personal use. It's only $4 a month. Do this, but you don't need to do that, right? You don't need to do a premium or business or e-commerce. Now, later, if you want to set up a WordPress website for your uncle's company, right? And they want to do like some e-commerce stuff where they have a budget because they want to accept payments or they want to have something on there, maybe you could help them set up a site using one of the paid ones. And that's why WordPress is happy that you learned their platform. But for now, we're going to click this little button. Not sure yet. Start with a free site. So we're going to do a free site. Okay. Hooray. Your site will be ready shortly. There it is. That's how we set up an account. That's it. So now I've got, look, Glenn Craik Portfolio. Glenn Craik Portfolio. Now, pause what you're doing. Let me do this here. Pause. Oh, look, see, he's got paws. Look at those puppy paws. Pause the video, go into your phone, type in next to your WordPress entry, what is your domain? I am Glenn Craik Portfolio.wordpress.com. That is your site address. Okay, so pause the video, go into your note where you saved your username and your password, because you are not going to remember that you had to settle with your name portfolio or your first name, middle initial, last name. Remember my student Paige Rodriguez, pagerodriguez.wordpress was taken, so she went with Rodriguez Page, but she couldn't remember that, so she had to write it down to remember what it was. But maybe you need to use your first and middle name or your full name or your initial, or think about your brand, right? Think about what that is. So everybody pause right now, pause the video, time out, go do that, and then come back. Okay, we're back. So now we're going to go back over here to our next step. Our site has been created. So the first thing that we are going to, we're going to learn kind of two different things. We're going to talk about our site theme. There's kind of two pieces to building our site. And yours has already been created. It's kind of basic. There's thousands of free templates and WordPress themes. And so we're going to start by looking at our site. And if you come over here in the corner here, you'll notice that you can always get to this kind of dashboard here by clicking My Site, right? And this will take you here to your site. Now, they're going to continue to try and get me to upgrade and pay for their service, but I'm happy using the free version. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to look at my, there's site and there's design. So with theme, we're going to look at design. And so if you do this little design tab, that's the first thing. You can change your theme from this dashboard by clicking on design and clicking themes, right? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go into themes. And you're going to see all these different themes that are in here, right? There's all kinds of different possible themes you can search through. There's free ones. There's paid ones. This first one that they created was just called Heaver. All right. So there's all kinds of different ones, and you can search for different kinds of themes, pick different ones, and you can even search by names. You can show all the different themes that are in here. You can search for like a portfolio theme. You can even just search for photography, right? And they'll show you, subject art. So there's all kinds of different ones. So you can play around and pick one. But once you've picked a theme, you kind of want to leave it because it's going to give you some of the basics. I'm just going to go with this basic Heaver theme. But here's the cool thing. It's one thing to select one. Later, you're going to be able to customize it later. And so we'll talk about how to customize that theme. This basic template is the Heaver template. And then later, we're going to go in, we're going to click this customize, and that's where we're going to be able to choose the font if we want, or change the color if we want, play with how the menu looks, right? Change the different images on them. So that's the first step, is looking at the theme, and all of that is under design, customize, themes, and customize. So now the other main thing, the other basic that we're gonna do using WordPress is we are going to add some content pages, Now, WordPress, if we come down here to site, you're going to notice there's two types of content types. There are pages and posts. Pages and posts. They also have media here, which is another thing they added. We're not going to play with that just yet. They also have comments and feedback. But we're just going to keep it simple. We're going to go to the basics. If you want to get advanced, you can go on and add these different things. But we're going to talk about the basics of posts and pages. Now, posts are part of a blog, and the idea of a post is if you put a post and you're doing a blog, the idea is that they are posted in reverse chronological order. So if you make a post and you say, check out this photo I took, and here's a description of it. If you put that up as a post, it's just going to put it at the top of your site, of your blog page. And then when you write another post, it's going to shift that one down and it's going to put another post on top of it, right? And so if you then say, check out this design thing I did, this is what I learned about design, then it's going to put that one on top and it's going to push the other one down. And so those are posts. Now that's great if you're doing like a blog or if you're posting regularly. The problem with that is they're going to be dated, right? And so it's going to be really clear when the last time you added something to it, right? And so for a portfolio, posts might not be the best way to add content to your portfolio. So we are going to do a page, because pages are meant to be static, to stay the same. They're kind of one-off type content, such as like your about page. You're not gonna add to it necessarily. You can edit it and update it, but you don't need it to show up in chronological order. The contact page you're gonna make. So by default, WordPress shows that your blog posts are the front page of your website. And so you can change that so that any page is the front page of your website, and we'll show you how to do that. Later, you can create a separate blog. Maybe one of the pages of your website could be a blog. I've done that before, where maybe I'll do a creative writing blog, and I want to start a blog where I write once a week or 2-3 times a week, or maybe you have a podcast and whenever you update a new one, you want the newest post to pop up. You can absolutely do that. Or you can create a website without a blog section at all. So having said that, let's add some content to our website. So we're going to go over to Site, Pages, and we're going to click on Pages here. And you'll look right now, the default for this theme that I chose has a default homepage, a default about page, a default contact, and a default blog. That is pretty awesome. So first thing you're going to do is, let's go ahead and, well, gosh, we already have a homepage. Let's add a new page. And this is kind of cool. Maybe I can just go and edit these pages. How about let's do that? Let's click on the home page. And once I click on that page there, home, it's going to say, welcome to your new site. And so this is a little tutorial the first time you're in. This is how you edit your content. So I'm going to go through these. You can preview your site as you go, hidden until you're ready, right? So this is the page. Look at that. Welcome to your new site. So I'm going to change this. I'm going to put Glenn Craik Portfolio. And then I'm going to write a little welcome here, right? Welcome to my portfolio. You're going to find all the fun things and skills I learned in journalism. Make sure to check out my bio page. There we go. And it looks like this learn more is automatically a button. Oh, learn.wordpress. I'm just gonna get rid of that. Oh, if I click on this, see, I'm learning with you here. I can just move it, edit, I'm gonna remove it altogether. So there it is. There's my home page. See, I can go in, I can edit. Oh, it looks like these are latest from the blogs. These are example posts if those are latest blogs. So I'm actually gonna go back to WordPress here. I'm gonna go to View Pages. Yeah, I don't wanna save that. I'm gonna add a whole new page. And I'm gonna call this one my welcome page. And I'm gonna show you just some of the basics. I'm gonna use a blank layout. Now you can do all of these. You can pick an about page. They have all kinds of templates in here, right? Some blog pages, contact pages, ooh, a menu page, ooh, a portfolio page. You could do something like that. Absolutely, you can play with all of these. Team pages, oh, this is a sample homepage. These are a bunch of different sample homepages. So I might use one of these. I like that, that's kind of cool. Oh, yeah, oh, yoga. Yeah, you probably don't want to use one that's, oh, see, this is a good one. It's got a services, what we do. So you could update this and add it. I'm just going to create a blank page to show you the basics, but you absolutely can use a template. So I'm going to use a blank, and I'm going to say welcome, right? And that's what I'm going to call this page. And I am going to welcome to Glenn Craig's portfolio. And this is where I'll go and I'll write my home statement, my welcome message. And this will be the first page that they see when they come, right? Now, I am going to start. You can save the draft or you can publish. I'm going to go ahead and just publish as we go, just so you can see it. So that way you can log off and check and make sure it's there. If you wait and save all of your drafts, then you have to launch it and it could be crazy. Right now, nobody's going and feverishly checking glenncraigportfolio.wordpress to see if it's updated or not. So I'm just going to go ahead and publish them. If I'm ready to publish, I can have it be public, visible immediately. That's what I'm going to do. I'm okay with that. If you want to keep yours private and wait to submit it at once, you can do that. I recommend you just publish it so that way you can refresh. Since this is a practice one, it's good to be publishing it so that you can log off and look at it, make sure it looks okay, and then update it. That's why we're practicing on this, kind of like a sandbox here. So, so here it is. What's the page address? I am going to call it, yeah, welcome. That's what I want it to be. That's my page address, and it is now live. So if I go to glenncraigportfolio.website/welcome, that's what it should say. So I'm just going to hit that. Look, there it is. Welcome to Glenn Craig's. There it is. That's what it looks like. So I could insert some images in there. I could put like a YouTube video if I want to film like a welcome video or something, whatever I want. Oh, my site hasn't been launched because I have to verify my email address. So I'll go check my Yahoo email and hit verify, and then it'll be launched, and then other people can go to that. So I guess I can't do that until I do that. So everybody pause the video, go check your email and verify, right? There you go. All right, now we're back. Now we're back and we're gonna go, so now that we've created our page, we're gonna go into pages, and now you'll see that we've got a welcome page. There we go. Now we have a welcome page, we've got a home page, a welcome page. I'm probably gonna get rid of this home page and make my welcome page my home page. But now you can click the about page. Oh, look at that. Introduce yourself, who you are. I'm going to replace this photo with a photo of me, right? I can go into my Google Photos. I can upload a photo. So put a photo of yourself, type in your profile in here, right? There's all kinds of things that you can do with it. And once you're done, I'm going to put something personal, something professional, and something purposeful, right? I might even just grab my little Twitter bio thing that I did in Google Classroom from my last assignment, right? Why not? That's the whole point. So I'm going to go into my class here. Didn't I already do this? Right? Yeah, see, there's Craig's. Booyah. I'm just going to paste it right in there. Look at that. There it is. There's my little about me. And I'm going to hit update. And that is going to update the site, because remember, we already created it. It was a template. But now that I've changed it, I'm going to hit update. And this launch button is going to keep here until I verify my email. So if I go and update it, I can go back to WordPress by coming up here to the sidebar. I could go back to view pages. And here is my about page, right? And there it is. And I can go back in and edit it as many times as I want. That is the idea. There we go. So now I'm going to go back. I'm going to view my other pages. So I recommend that you go through the contact page. You probably don't even need to touch because you can keep this. But then we're going to start adding skill pages, right? So if we go back over here, we're going to repeat the process by adding more pages for the different sections of our website. For example, maybe we'll have a page, we got an about page, we got a contact page. maybe you're going to do, if you're doing, creative writing stuff, but we're going to do this as our journalism portfolio. So let's create a page for each of our journalism skills. So I'm going to scroll back up here to the different skill pages, right? I'm going to make one for news gathering and one for photojournalism. So let's go ahead and let's create a new page, and we'll call this new page. I'm just going to do a blank one. And again, you can play around with titles, but I'm going to call it photojournalism. Here are the photos I took this year, right? Something like that. And then you can go and you can add, if I hit return here, it'll take me to a new little block. And I can hit plus, and I can add all kinds of things in here. I can add a paragraph. You can search for a different one. Is there image? Oh, yep. See, there's an image. Oh my goodness. Galleries, images. There's all kinds of things you can do. So now I can insert a URL image. I can upload an image, and the image will pop up right there. And then you can write a caption for it, a little description underneath it, and add a little text box, just little paragraphs. So this photo I took shows my understanding of the rule of thirds, right? So you might just write a little description of the skill that you learn, and I'll put the photo in there. So there you go. That's the basics of it. This is, very, very basic. I'm just going to hit publish, which is essentially save, right? And that's going to save it. And then, right, if I go to glenncraigportfolio.wordpress.com/photojournalism, now I've got a photojournalism page, okay? So that's the idea. And if I go back to view pages, now there's my photojournalism page. So you can repeat this process for all the different skill pages you want to add. You might want to do this now, or you can do it later as we start to develop. Maybe you've got one for news literacy, for what we've done so far on news literacy, or on news gathering as we kind of start to do interviewing. And you can start creating. Shoot, if you really want, you can create a My Candles page for your Star Wars themed candles that you made. I don't know, whatever. But you can play around with this and get some ideas on how to go. So that is how to create pages, adding content pages, right? Now that once you've got all of your pages created, the next step is to customize your website. Customize your website. So actually, you know what? Let's pause. This would be a great time to pause the video and go in and create some of your pages. Edit your about page. Go and add some stuff to it. Go back and look at the WordPress handout, the PDF, and figure out what all should I include in that. Go ahead and edit the images and replace all of the stock photos. All right, so take some time, go and do that, pause, and then come back, and I'll show you the next skill you'll need for your WordPress portfolio editing. All right. You're paused, you're back. Now we're gonna look at that customize button we talked about before. There's a couple of things that you're probably gonna want to do to check out your website. So what I'm gonna do is, let me just look at my website. I'm gonna open up a new browser, and I'm just gonna check out Glenn Craig portfolio.wordpress.com. And, oh, it looks like my site hasn't been launched yet. So that's why the old homepage is still there. What if I click about? Oh, see, my about page is there. But it looks like the old blog page is still there. All right, I got to get rid of this photo. That's not me. All right, it looks like the contact page looks fine. Don't hesitate to reach. I'm going to get rid of this because you do not want to put your personal information out here, because then you're going to get all kinds of spam. So I'm probably going to get rid of this. This right here, send me a message, is perfect, because then it's just a blank name, email, message. And when they hit submit, whatever you set up your WordPress, whatever email, they're going to send it to my Yahoo email. So whoever fills something out and sends it to me, WordPress is going to say, hey, so-and-so with this email contacted you and said this. And they're going to send that to my personal email account. And so you can do that and check it to don't email gcrake at Yahoo. It's my spam. That's what I do when I need to sign up for random accounts and stuff. So don't try and contact me there. I will not ever see it. I want to say I have like 20,000 unread emails in that account. All right. So that's what this looks like. So I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to click on my site, and this takes us to the basics of the site. So we know here under site on the side, we know how to do pages, right? That's the basic one. We're not going to mess with posts. Those are blogs right here. But once you have pages down, the only other thing that you're going to need is under design, customize. Design, customize. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to take that theme that we picked and we're just going to kind of tweak it. We're going to make it our own. And so the first thing that we're going to do in WordPress is we are going to homepage settings. And we are going to click on the, thanks, I got it. Okay. So we're going to go to homepage settings under design or customize. And we're going to change the home page settings. Now, there's a couple of things. If you selected a template that like focuses on a blog, then maybe whatever the most recent post is might be the thing that your homepage displays, whatever your most recent post is. But we don't want to do that. We want to control what the first thing is. When they type in myname.wordpress.com, we want them to see our welcome page. So we're going to, instead of latest posts, right, we're going to have a static page, and we're going to tell them which page we want. For me, instead of that home page, I want them to go to my welcome page. I suppose I could delete this one and create a new page called home. I'm just going to create a welcome page, and this is the page that I want them to come to, right? Yeah, and I'm going to leave this. I guess I could select my blog, and if I want posts to pop up, they can pop up on that blog page. Ooh, do I want the homepage title? Maybe I want to change the site title. I think I can just change it right here. Oh yeah, I can change it. Glenn Craik Portfolio. Journalism, educators, I don't know, something. Skill page, I don't know. Something like that. Skill page, there we go. I'm gonna save those changes. I did put the E there. Come on, update. Or is that too long? All right. Refresh. Every once in a while it needs to be refreshed. Yeah, there it is, Glenn Craik Portfolio. Welcome to Glenn Craik's Portfolio. So I might edit that welcome page a little bit. So that's the first thing. Don't forget to click Save Changes at the bottom of the page or at the top of the page. That's the idea. That will now use that page as your home page on the site's front page, and then the blog page as your blog posts. You can then examine other customizing options on this menu. You can change site identity. If you go into site identity, right, that's where you change the site title, the site icon, logos. There's a bunch of different things you can do in here under customize. Widgets. What? I want to say that you can even customize colors and stuff in here, but you can kind of pop around if you like to do that. The other thing that you're gonna need to do is your primary header, right? Your primary header is the main thing that you're gonna want to customize, because I got rid of this home button, and I'm probably not gonna use this blog, but I want people to see my portfolio or my photojournalism page up here. So if you come down here under menus, right? And I've got two menus on this site. It looks like there is a social media. Oh yeah, because right down here, there's a social menu at the bottom, and you can edit that. Like, see, I don't want to have my Facebook in here, so I'm gonna delete Facebook. Delete this one. Oh, I just deleted the whole menu. Whoops. I'm gonna create a social menu. We'll put it social links. There it is. And let's see what I can add items to it. So I'm going to add let's see. Actually, I'm not going to do that for now, right now. But again, there's so many different things that you can do on this. I'm just going to stick with the basics. So I'm going to go to this primary menu. This primary menu is this menu across the top. You'll notice right now I've got a home page, a blog page, about page, a contact page. Now I can reorder these if I click reorder, and I can move them around, right? I can move the about page up here. I can order them any way I want. I'm going to add some items. So I want to add my welcome page, right? And I want to add my, see, these are all the different pages I've created, right? Here's my photojournalism page, right? And so I can add all of these. You can even like create new pages to add, and notice I just put photojournalism right in there. So here's what I'm going to do. This welcome page is my front page. I'm going to move this up to the top. I'm going to get rid of this home page altogether. I've got an about page. I'm going to get rid of my blog page. I don't want that. I got a home page, an about page. I've got a contact page. I've got a photojournalism page. I'm going to add a new page. I'm going to call it my news literacy page. And it's just going to create a blank page called news literacy. And it's going to add it right up there. And then I'm going to add another page. I could add all of my pages right here if you haven't already. I'm going to maybe create a page called work samples, right? Or journalism work samples. And I'm going to add that page. Now check this out. This is really cool. I can move this up here, and then I can take photojournalism and just nudge it in, and news literacy and nudge it in. And look, when I come up here under photojournalism, now all of a sudden under journalism work samples, those are a little pull down menu, right? So there's news literacy underneath it. I have to hit save changes, I think, for photojournalism to get updated. See, it's still saving the changes. That's why I think it didn't quite update it. Still saving the changes. But there you go. That's the basics of how you do it. You can move the items around. So remember, your website should have a welcome page, the first thing that we see with some little message, welcome to my site. Then there should be an about page where you have your little personal, professional, purposeful. And then a contact page, which should be basic. And then you should have some work sample pages. And right now I've just got 2 in there. You eventually will have at least 5. Eventually, if you keep taking intro to media classes, you know, broadcast, photography, graphic design, yearbook, newspaper, breakdown, you'll start to build work samples in here. You could also add another menu page over here and call it, let's see, let's add an item. Star Wars candles, right? Now I've got Star Wars candles. Ooh, which Star Wars candles? Gotta have a Boba Fett. Now we're just having fun. I gotta make a Yoda candle. I'm gonna sculpt these so that they look, right? And so then, there you go. I can hit save changes, and now I can sell my Boba Fett and my Yoda Star Wars candles. Does that not sound awesome? And you can also use it for your work samples. So there you go. That's how the basics of WordPress. Shoot, you could go right now and for your uncle's small business, you can help update his website and set it up. And now you know how to do it. If you hit save and we close out of here, I can go back into, remember, I can go back into site and pages, and I can, now I've got a Yoda page in here, Boba Fett, Star Wars Camp. These are all the pages I've created. I can go in and I can edit my photojournalism page, my news literacy page. And so over the course of the semester, as we develop new products and projects and create stuff, we can now put it on this portfolio site. And by the end of it, we'll have at least 5 work sample pages there with evidence and explanations, reflections, right? So that's how you customize the menu. We just did that and boom, that's the basics. That's really all you need to set your website up. If you go back all the way up to the top and review just the basics of what we need for our site, you're gonna need a home page, an about page. This is the stuff that you should put on it. This is what your work sample pages should look like, and your contact page. There you go. Happy website editing. So, yeah, now y'all like want to get all busy and go to it. So I'm going to throw the pause up and go explore. Go take a look at some of the sample WordPress portfolio sites. And if you're not sure what kinds of stuff to put under those skill pages, click on some of those award-winning sites on the links page and see what kind of stuff they put under news literacy, under a news gathering. And as we go through the course, we'll be able to update. So spend some time adding those pages to your portfolio. Make sure you verify, launch your portfolio, so that way you can log out and log in and go to yourname.wordpress.com and check it whether you're logged in or not. All right, go to it. Happy WordPressing.